folks. There are a lot of folks out there out of work, and it's tough if you're looking for work. The competition is stiff.
All right, so where are the jobs, and what can you do to improve the odds so your job search is successful? Here with some important advice on finding a job in 2011, Roy Cohen. He's a career counselor and the author of The Wall Street Professional Survival Guide. Nice to have you back here, Roy.
Thank you so much.
We're not just talking about Wall Street jobs this morning, right?
No, it's we're talking about employment for everyone.
Is there a strategy that you have to put into place right now?
Yeah, actually, I think the strategy is quite simple. It's about having a clear goal, a game plan that you can execute, and then to make sure that you don't fall off the wagon.
What if you've had that strategy for a year now and you're still out of work? Because people have, they've read these books, they've read the tips, they've been on the internet, and they're facing 12, 13, a year and a half, 2 years out of work.
So this is the right time to re-examine your strategy, figure out whether or not there are areas where you need to tweak the approach you've taken. After you've been out for 12 or 18 months, you need to figure out whether or not there are ways that you can change, improve, modify your search so that you can approach the market in a much more effective, productive way.
Should you be looking like the old-fashioned way in the newspaper? Should you be online? Should you be on Facebook? What should you be doing? What should be your strategy here?
Well, a job search happens in 4 ways. We network, we contact companies directly, we work through recruiters, and we also will contact companies, as I said before, directly. And the reality is that you need to be everywhere at once, and you figure out what your weakest link has been over the last year, and that's what you focus on.
All right. But I think you mentioned networking. That's face-to-face networking. You got to be doing some of that. People are at home on the computer uploading their resumes.
Yeah.
A lot of them seem to go into the ether. No one seems to be reading those resumes on the other side. You know what I mean? Monster.com, things like that. You got to still get out there face-to-face.
Well, actually, the Internet is extraordinary because it allows you both to respond to postings, but also to create a networking community. And part of a virtual job search is following up with people virtually and calling people, making sure that there's some sticking to this process.
All right. Is Facebook a good place to go and try to find a job?
Facebook is a great place to meet people, to establish a social community so that you build a network. Finding a job is probably best done via LinkedIn, which is a job search site.
LinkedIn is business.
Yes. It's a social networking and job search site.
What do you tell an employer who, if you've been out of a job for like 2 years or so? I mean, because you should have like a good...
Yeah, but you shouldn't be embarrassed by that. It's understandable.
Well, absolutely, but they may not understand that because often what happens is we go into a job search after a year or 18 months that we've been out, we're exhausted, we're exasperated. We have to kind of take a step back and say to ourselves, look, how do I compete with folks who haven't been out for 12 to 18 months? How do I renew my energy? Because whoever you're talking to, they're not going to get it. They won't know that you've been out for that long.
I want to get your take on this. I heard somebody say once, look, if you're not working, you don't want a job at all because you want to be available for that big interview. But being home for all that time can drive you crazy, and it can be unhealthy. Get a part-time job. Do something. Drive a cab. Go to the grocery store. Work in the back. It might be not the kind of job you're looking for, but it gets you out there, you're making some money, and you feel better about yourself. I guess it could conflict with unemployment benefits and that kind of thing, but is there any merit to that?
Keeping busy is really important, so what we're looking to do then is identify creative options which will support your job search. So it could be that you take an interim assignment. Better to be working than not working. Better to be making some money rather than what you get on unemployment. Third, you have something to talk about with folks. What have you been up to? It's also important if you've been out for a very long period of time to break it down. If you just say, look, I've been out for 18 months, people are going to say, wow, that's an awfully long period of time. But if you say, look, I took a couple of months off to recharge, figure out what I wanted to do. I made a career change. I went back for the next 6 months and got a certificate. And then I began my job search about 3 or 4 months ago. All of a sudden, we've taken 15 months, and it sounds a lot shorter.
Roy Cohen, career counselor, thank you very much. The book is The Wall Street Professional Survival Guide. Check it out.
Thank you.
Get myfoxny.com on your iPhone free at the App Store and stay connected.